Hello friends, welcome once again to the Vinay Kumar show on your own YouTube channel. I am your friend Vinay Kumar. In today's video, we shall talk about John Galsworthy and his literary works, which will be the most important from the exam point of view. So without wasting our time, let's start. John Galsworthy, a novelist, playwright and a poet who was born on 14th of August 1867 at Kingston Hill, and he died on 31st January 1933 at Grove Lodge. His father's name was also John Galsworthy. He was wealthy London solicitor, means a lawyer, and his family was prosperous and well established. His mother's name was Blanche Bailey. Galsworthy was educated at Harrow and Oxford University, and he took an honor degree in law in 1889. He trained as a barrister and was called to the bar in 1890, but he never practiced there. Instead of practice, he traveled abroad to look after the family's shipping business. During these travels in 1893, Galsworthy met Joseph Conrad and formed a lifelong friendship with him. He began his career as a writer in 1885. Remember it? He began his career as a writer in 1885. In the same year, he began an affair with Ada Nemesis Pearson Cooper, the wife of his own cousin Arthur Galsworthy. After her divorce 10 years later, they were married on 23rd September 1905 and stayed together until his death in 1933. In 1912, he made a tour of slaughterhouses in England and wrote a report on the inhuman methods of slaughtering animals. And in 1918, he refused the offer of a knighthood. See, it's very important date 1918, when he refused the offer of a knighthood, saying that literature is its own reward. It's very important point to remember it. Literature is its own reward. In 1921, he was elected the first president of PEN Club, an international body of poets, playwrights, essayists, and novelists. This is the same pen club to which Galsworthy donated the prize money received in the Nobel Prize for the benefit of this pen club. Earlier, he used to write his novels under his pseudonym John St. John. Those the first four works were written under his pseudonym name John St. John. The number one is From the Four Winds, which was published in 1897. Number second, Jocelyn, 1898. Number third, Villa Robin, 1900. And number fourth, A Man of Devon, 1901. So these are four works which were written under the name of John St. John, pseudonym name John St. John. After these four works, he dropped pseudonym name and started writing by his original name John Galsworthy, and the first work which appeared in 1904 was the name The Island Pharisees. In 1929, he was conferred Order of Merit. Order of Merit is that by which he can use after his name OM. In 1930, D.Litt was conferred on him by Cambridge University and Sheffield University. So remember it, 1929 he was conferred Order of Merit, and the next year, it means 1930, he was conferred D.Litt. From which university? So it was from Cambridge and Sheffield University. And in 1932 he got Nobel Prize in Literature for his distinguished art of narration, which takes its highest form in the Forsyte Saga. After discussing these things, we shall discuss about some his major works which are listed below here. Okay, We are making two categories here. First side plays and second novels. In plays category, the first one which appeared in 1906, it was his first play. The name was The Silver Box. Second, Joy 1907, Strife 1909, Justice 1910, The Eldest Son 1912, The Pigeon 1912, The Fugitive 1913, The Mob 1914, The Skin Game 1920, The Family Man 1921, Loyalties 1922, Windows 1922, The Show 1925, Escape 1926, and The Roof, which was published in 1929. And let us talk about novels also in the other side. First one, From the Four Winds 1897, second, Jocelyn 1898, Villa Rubin 1900, A Man of Devon 1901, The Island Pharisees 1904, A Man of Property 1906, Fraternity 1909, The Inn of Tranquility 1912, Saints Progress 1919, In Chancery 1920, Awakening 1920, Too Late 1921, The White Monkey 1924, Caravan 1925, The Silver Spoon 1926, Swan Song 1928, On Forsyte Saga 1930, Made in Waiting 1931, Flowering Wilderness 1932, Over the River 1933. The Forsyte Saga, which was published in 1922, is a series of these three novels and two interludes. Novels are The Man of Property 1906, second In Chancery 1920, and third is Too Late. So these three novels, and apart from these three novels, he wrote two interludes also. First is Indian Summer of a Forsyte Tales 1918, and number second is Awakening 1920. Second trilogy was A Modern Comedy. A Modern Comedy was a sequel to the Forsyte Saga, which appeared in 1929. Under this sequel also there are three novels and two interludes. Novels are The White Monkey 1924, The Silver Spoon 1926, and number third, Swan Song 1928. And two interludes are here, A Silent Wing 1927 and number second, Passers By 1927. Galsworthy wrote one more trilogy, which was The End of the Chapter, which was published in 1934. The End of the Chapter, which comprises number 1, Made in Waiting 1931, number 2, Flowering Wilderness 1932, and number 3rd, Over the River 1933. These three trilogy, The Forsyte Saga, A Modern Comedy, and The End of the Chapter, are collectively known as the Forsyte Chronicles. Friends, remember this, it's very important point. The Forsyte Chronicles, these three trilogy. Number 1, The Forsyte Saga, which appeared in 1922, and number 2, A Modern Comedy, which appeared 1929, and number 3rd trilogy is The End of the Chapter, which published in 1934. Friends, always remember one thing, that From the Four Winds was not a novel. It's a collection of the short stories, which was Galsworthy's first published work. And the first novel was Jocelyn. Okay, Jocelyn was the first novel. Next point is, John Galsworthy's ideas and drama are found in The Inn of Tranquility